Here's another triangle. What's the gray one? Or maybe I shouldn't call it a cost. Interpret it however you want. With economics, though, please. What's the, it's deadweight loss from the externality that we haven't gone all the way. If we could have gone all the way for free, we would have that extra gray area. You know, when Bob drew the picture, the gray area was the whole thing, the whole triangle, right? And we've cut down that whole triangle to be just a small gray one, but it's still there. And we just discussed why you don't want to go all the way there, because you're going to be adding to the green one faster than you're subtracting from the gray one. So another lesson from this picture, and when you have externalities, the cost can be transformed into a different kind of cost. And we know that these organizations don't run for free. They need managers. They impose rules on the members who are, often those rules aren't efficient. They're one size fits all. And those are the types of costs that are in here. The last lesson from this picture is where the average price would be. So I've drawn in the indifference curves for the others. Now they slope down. And they slope down because number one, we're below P equals 1. And number two, this is a positive externality. So people benefit by a greater quantity, those third parties, the people downstream, so to speak. And so the average price is going to be somewhere between E2 and E3. I can't say exactly. This model tells us exactly what the quantity will be. It tells exactly what the marginal value will be. It doesn't tell us exactly what the average price will be. But it does tell us a lot about it. It's below 1. It's above M. It's above where Pigou would have it. Yeah. So now let's think about having Pigou. So what I'm doing, I'm taking this picture, I'm shrinking, I'm taking a lot of stuff out. I'm shrinking the two green lines so I'm going to have room. I want to do some drawing underneath here. And so I've just shrunk the scale a little bit. And what I want to do is to think about, what if one of these Pigouvian tax people marched in here, not thinking at all about Coase, Telsa, or any of that stuff, and they put on their Pigouvian tax, what would happen? So this would be like, Bob talked about the factory upstream. This is am I going to have a negative externality here? I'm going to have a positive externality. But in Bob's upstream firm doing the chemical, we come in and we say, oh, I see the people downstream, they have to pay to clean the water for each unit of the chemical that gets put in. I'm going to put a tax. We're going to put a tax on that factory upstream. Not bothering to check, had they already reached a deal of some kind, even if it's not a perfect deal, have they reached some kind of deal? So that's what I want to do here, in the case of the positive externality. So there's our equilibriums, the red dot, and I've shown you Pigou and U there. Now I'm going to put it, whoops, that shouldn't do that. Okay, we're going to put on a subsidy. The smart Pigouvian guy was going to say, this needs a subsidy. It's a positive externality. We're going to make the subsidy equal to delta. Now, what are we going to do with the subsidy? Or where's it going to come from? That's going to be important. But let's say it comes from far away treasury. It's nowhere near the factory. It's nowhere near the town. So both these curves shift down. That's why I needed more room to draw. So now the private marginal cost has shifted down by S. And so is the group marginal cost. Maybe I shouldn't call it social because it's not a global marginal cost because someone has to pay for the subsidy. But among the affected parties, the group marginal cost shifts down. And then the equilibrium shifts down. So we get overkill here. We went even further than Pigou did. And it's not a good thing. That's right. Yeah, like you said earlier, they still, even when you're at the Pigou solution, the guys harmed or the guys affected by the externality want to go even further. And in this case, they can still nudge the producer to go further. Yeah, yeah. And in Bob's case, it would have been a tax. And it's tax the factory upstream. The tax goes to some faraway treasury. And the guys downstream still come and say, we'll pay you to cut back on your production. And they say, fine, you got a deal. Even though their production was already cut back to the efficient point due to the Pigouvian subsidy. I mean, a tax in Bob's case.